Well, hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. Today is Sunday, and so we are talking about Psalms. Today is Sunday in Psalms. When I read through the Bible, usually every year, a book that takes me a while to get through, not because it's difficult reading, is because it has so much stuff, so much information in it. It's hard to read like a whole chapter at a time because you're like stuck on several verses. Okay, and one of those is Proverbs. Proverbs is a book that when I read it, I'm going through there and I'm like, oh man, there's so much. Like just say chapter 5, you're reading through that and you're like, wow, this is really good here, and this is really good here, and this is good. All these little sayings, just short sayings that are just a couple of sentences each, but there's so much truth in each of those little several sentence statements, okay, that it's hard. You want to take your time to look at it and study it. Well, today, as I was reading Psalm 37, I'm like, wait, this is just like Proverbs here. There's so much good stuff in here, and it's hard to, it's not just one theme in that whole psalm. So a lot of times when I'm teaching through Psalms here, I take that chapter and I go, and we're trying to do one chapter each Sunday, and I try and talk about that theme here. Today I'm going to be doing it a little different here. I'm treating it like a book of Proverbs. I'm going to be going through the whole chapter of 37, which it's a lot of information, so fasten your seatbelts and get ready, because there's a lot of information we're going to be throwing at you here in this short time period here today. So this is chapter 37 of Psalms, and keep in mind, it's almost like it's almost like it belongs in Proverbs here, because it's so much little sections here of good information. It says, "Do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like grass they soon wither, like green plants they soon die away." So just like there's always going to be bad guys coming around, messing with you and stuff like that. And God is saying, don't worry about it, because they're going to go away. There's going to be some other guy that's going to come along and be a hassle to you. But God and His Word have stood the test of time. They're here for eternity. All these other bad guys, they come and go. All right. Verse 3, "Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." Wow, that's a great saying there. Take delight in the Lord. Just delight in Him, and He will give you the desires of your heart. And you know what? The desires of my heart, when I'm part of the world, it might be, I need that new Corvette. That's the desire of my heart. When I become a Christian, those desires change. I look at the Corvette and I go, oh, $120,000. I don't know if that's such the best use of my money for a new Corvette. But my desires change, okay? And so I after I become a Christian, I'm like, how can I reach the world for Christ? Well, not necessarily with the Corvette. I could buy a bus and minister to kids that way, or whatever, all kinds of things. I could donate the money to far-reaching ministries to reach people, all kinds of ways. But my desires change, okay? And so that's what this verse is talking about here. He will give you the desires of your heart, because my desires have changed as I follow Christ. Verse 5, "Commit your way to the Lord and trust in Him, and He will do this. He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun." Verse 7, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, and when they carry out your wicked schemes." That's a good saying there. Just be patient, and don't be like all uptight about it. Just wait patiently for the Lord. Verse 8, "Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret. It only leads to evil." Yeah, when our anger gets in the way, I'm usually going to do something stupid and something sinful. All right. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret. It leads only to evil. We just read that. Verse 9, for those who are evil will be destroyed, but those who hope in the Lord will inherit the land. A little while, and the wicked will be no more. Though you look for them, they will not be found. But the meek will inherit the land and enjoy peace and prosperity. Okay? Many of the people that you've thought back and you could name as great people of the world have not been criminals necessarily, unless they did something really, really crazy. But it's been people that have been great leaders and led people in the right way. Verse 12, the wicked plot against the righteous and gnash their teeth at them, but the Lord laughs at their wickedness, for he knows their day is coming. The wicked draw the sword and bend the bow, to bring down the poor and needy, to slay those whose ways are upright. But their swords will pierce their own hearts, and their bows will be broken. It's funny because, the wicked are trying all kinds of ways to do that. And in the end, they do something stupid to defeat themselves. Okay? A lot of times the criminals that end up in jail and stuff end up there because they did something stupid that convicts themselves. All right? It's just the way it is. Verse 16, better the little that the righteous have than the wealth of many wicked. For the power of the wicked will be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. That's a great saying, verse 16. But the little the righteous have is better than the wealth that the wicked have. It's better to be going to heaven and not having much than to be rich and on my way to hell. The blameless spend their days under the Lord's care, and their inheritance will endure forever. In times of disaster they will not wither. In days of famine they will enjoy plenty. But the wicked will perish, though the Lord's enemies are like the flowers of the field. They will be consumed, and they will go up in smoke. The wicked borrow and do not repay, but the righteous give generously. I like it. The righteous don't even bother borrowing. They just give generously. Like, oh, you need this? Here you go. Those the Lord blesses will inherit the land, but those he curses will be destroyed. The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him. Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his right hand. Imagine with me, I'm walking, and the Lord is walking with me, and I am a clumsy walker. I trip and fall and so forth, but the Lord is there at holding my hand. And so let me reread that verse as you have that thought in your mind. The Lord makes firm his steps of the one who delights in him. I'm delighting in holding the hand of the Lord, and he's just guiding me along, okay? Though he may stumble, I may stumble, I will not fall, for the Lord upholds me with his right hand. God's walking with me, holding my hand, all right? I was young, and now I'm old, yet I have never seen the righteous forsaken or the children begging for bread. They are always generous and lend freely, and their children will be a blessing. Turn from evil and do good, then you will dwell in the land forever. For the Lord loves the just and will not forsake his faithful ones. Wrongdoers will be completely destroyed. The offspring of the wicked will perish. The righteous will inherit the land and dwell in it forever. The mouths of the righteous utter wisdom, and their tongues speak what is just. The law of their God is in their hearts, and their feet do not slip. The wicked lie in wait for the righteous, intent on putting them to death. But the Lord will not leave them in the power of the wicked, or let them be condemned when brought to trial. Verse 34, hope in the Lord and keep his ways. He will exalt you to inherit the land. When the wicked are destroyed, you will see it. That's a great promise from the Lord there. In verse 35, I have seen a wicked and ruthless man flourish like a luxuriant native tree, but he soon passes away and was no more. Though I looked for him, he could not be found. Consider the blameless and observe the upright. A future awaits those who seek peace, but all sinners will be destroyed, for there will be no future for the wicked. The salvation of the Lord comes from the Lord. He is the stronghold in time of trouble. The Lord helps them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wicked and saves them because they take refuge in him. Notice that verse 40 there. You've heard that saying, the Lord helps those who help themselves. It's not in the Bible. And here it clearly contradicts that. It says, verse 40, the Lord helps them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wicked and saves them because they take refuge in him. When you're helpless, the Lord is there to help you. Okay? Completely opposite of that goofy saying that is not in the Bible. Wow, that's a lot of stuff, and I know it went longer today, but it's so much information. And I would encourage you today, go through Psalm 37 again. Read through it in a different translation. Not necessarily King James, but maybe the New Living or another translation like that. And just take some time and look at all those different little proverbs in there. Because there's some that I pointed out and I went through slightly. And then there's others that I have completely skipped over. But take those, and this week, take that time and look at Psalm 37 and study that on your own. All right? Hey, thanks for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we are in the book of Leviticus. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.